Hello everyone, Minute Plus Meditation here. It is Thursday, May the 15th. Continuing with the Acts of the Apostles, we're in chapter 13 now. Paul and his companions set sail from Paphos and came to Perga in Pamphylia. John, however, left them and returned to Jerusalem, but they went on from Perga and came to Antioch in Pisidia. Now, this is going to, we don't know exactly what the reason is. We can speculate, but that's just out of speculation. But the fact that he left them doesn't seem to, from the future episodes in the Acts of the Apostles, it doesn't seem he left them for like a serious reason, like he was deathly ill, there was a death in the family or something like that. But it would seem the way Paul reacts to this, that he left them because fear. He gave into maybe a moment of cowardice. I don't know, all those negative things. And this will ultimately cause a rift between Paul and Barnabas, if you know the Acts of the Apostles. God will use all of this to work out his plan, which is very mysterious. But we'll see one of the redeeming qualities of Paul is that although he must have been hurt and angry with Mark, and Mark probably felt that he had let down this titan, spiritual titan of a man, and even his own cousin Barnabas, that he recovered, and Paul actually worked it out with him, embraced him. They probably worked to be mutual forgiveness, because usually that's what occurs with people who have failings, but they have good hearts, and they're not stubborn and so on. They usually see a bit of fault in each, myself and the other person. So people around us are going to fail at times. Is anybody perfect? No, we know that. And failings are not easy to take. It all depends on what kind it is. Could be a betrayal, could be we're let down by somebody, and we just want to write them off. We can't. We could, but I'm saying we can't, meaning we shouldn't, because we could be in the same position. And one of the best books I've read a couple of months ago now is called Failing Forward by John Maxwell. And it's got so many practical things in there that I would highly recommend reading this book, Failing Forward. Everybody fails. But are we going to fail forward, learn something and try to improve, or just, sort of sit there and moan and groan about our failures and become discouraged and depressed, and become a loser? Obviously we should be failing forward. Okay, so we always have to be thoughtful and careful, hold our tongue when others fail around us, because eventually we're going to fail in some way too. To the Gospel, John chapter 13, after Jesus had washed the feet of the disciples, he returned to the table and said to them, "Very truly I tell you, servants are not greater than their master, nor are messengers greater than the one who sent them. If you know these things, you are blessed if you do them." So he returned from the table after he washed the feet of his disciples. Now again, it's important to kind of reflect on some very obvious, at least we know they're obvious, but for that reason, they often don't impact us the way they should. Okay, I'll read it again. After Jesus had washed the feet of his disciples, the Son of the living God, the second person of the Blessed Trinity in human form, God through whom the entire universe was created, washes the feet, and their dirty feet, of his disciples. Now, why does he do this? He does this and he's always teaching. He's always teaching. Very truly, I tell you, servants are not greater than their master. So don't ever think you're better than anybody else, nor are messengers greater than the one who sent them. So to be a leader is to serve. Once we start relying upon position and prominence and things like this, we're not a leader anymore. And not in the strict sense of the term. We need to serve as the Son of Man came to serve and not to be served. So examine yourself, check yourself, and even correct yourself, and help those around you to lead as servant leaders, not as positional leaders. I'm your boss, follow me. But lead like Jesus did. God bless you.